So if you have been able to do every other things that we have talked about, that means we are moving faster and faster. So what we'll be talking about now, I have already sent theory little explanation on it. How do you install plugin? How do you install plugin? What you need to do is to come back to your dashboard, visit your dashboard, and I told you before that everything you are going to be doing is at the back end of your website. That is where you store, you edit everything. You yourself you can see. Don't let me go back to that. I don't want the videos to be too long. Don't let me go back to that. You can see that whatever that appear at the front side of your website, they are the things that you have done at the back end. So that is what connects your site together. So what you need to do is to come to your menu, click on plugin, click on add new plugin. So I need to add some plugins to my site. Now when you install your WordPress, I told you to click on a particular plugin when you want to install it. If you click on this thing, you can remember vividly this classic editor. This classic editor. If you don't click on this classic editor, then try to install it now, because if you don't install it, the interface you are going to be having when you want to edit or do some things will be different. Let me show you some things here. Let's come back to post, add new post. Let's come to add new post. You can see what we are seeing at the add new post. So let's come back. You can see the way it look like. Add new post, you can see the way everything look like. So let's come back to plugin. Let's click on add new. Oh, sorry, let's click on installed so that we can see all the plugins that have been installed. Come to this classic editor and deactivate it. Let's deactivate it. Okay, I have deactivated it now. Let me come back and see what you are going to see at our post. Let's click on add new post. Add new post. You want to see something, you can see it give us another message. That's not where we are going. Let's close the message. Now look at the way our post is looking now. It gives us another template entirely. You see this template, this frame that you are seeing, it is this format. It is the new WordPress design format, because you are using WordPress 6.0. This is how the interface of WordPress 6.0 editor is. But we cannot use this one because it's only those that have understand WordPress very well that can be able to manage this interface. That is why the classic editor is there. They don't uninstall it. That classic format, that was the former way of editing your post, and that one is very simple. So if this is what you are seeing, if this is how your own is loading, if this is how it is loading, then don't worry. Don't worry that my own is different from others. Don't worry. What you need to do is to come back to your plugin. I told you yesterday that we are now in a state that you need to begin to add things that will make your site to look good. You need to begin to add them. Now you need to come back to plugin, come back to add new. If you don't have it before, then you search for classic editor. You will see it at the top like this, and if you don't see it, just come to this search box and search for classic editor. Classic, sorry, I'm trying to, classic editor. Search for classic editor, it will bring it for you. This is it. Then install it. You have to install it like this, because I've already installed it. That's why I'm seeing all this. Install it, then click on activation. It will activate. Then let's go back and check our post, add new post, and see the way it will look like. You can see that we are now having another interface than before. So this one is very easy to operate. It is very easy. I forget to tell you one thing when I was talking about post and page. Whenever you want to edit or type anything in your post, check these two things out. Make sure that your this thing, your box fall under visual. Make sure that you click on visual, or let me say it like that, you click on visual. Don't click on text. Text is for coding. Let me show you something, because I love telling you everything. Let me show you. You can see what I'm typing. That is why I told you that if you can be able to understand, CMS, you'll be able to have little knowledge about coding. Then you'll be able to learn coding easily. Now see what I have typed here now. You see this thing, because website is about coding, then CMS has code a lot of things for you, that what you just need to do is just to type them, they will be able to convert it into code. So if I should click on this test aspect, if I should click on this test now, let's see what we have. You can see that we are having another language, another different test. Those of you that said you want to learn coding, you want to learn coding. So if I should type this word, like this in a coding software, this is what I'm going to see. This is how it will show it. So everything you are typing, if you try and do search assessment and click on test, everything will be converted for you into coding. That is what the CMS does. It make it easier for you. So make sure it is visual that you are using. Don't use text. Unless you have knowledge about coding, then you can do that. So let's come back to where we are going. Plugins. Click on add new plugin. And before you add plugin, I have explained different type of website that we have. The website you want to build will determine the types of plugin you are going to use. I've already sent some of the plugins that we have, some of the plugins that you may need to different websites. I've already sent those ones. So don't just install plugins the way you are seeing them. Don't just install all of them. No, at all. What you want to do depends on the plugins you are going to install. And all these plugins and themes, they have free, they have pro. If you want good and more professional websites, you need to go for pro versions. But if it is just for practical sake and other things, you can still use the free versions. So that one will make your work more okay also. And if you want to install plugin, any plugin you want to install, let me search for form. Like you want to create form, let me search for form. Any plugin you want to install, you need to check some things here. Number one, you need to check the rate. This rate, you need to check it. How many people have installed it? You can see this plugin that you are seeing. I don't like it anyway, but we have about 5,000 people that have installed the plugin. 5 million rather, 5 million active installations. So the plugin have 5 star. You need to check something here again, compatibility with your WordPress, because every plugin that they installed on WordPress will try it with different versions of WordPress if the plugin is compatible. Let's scroll down and see if you can check another one, the one that are not compatible. All these one are still compatible, all these one are still compatible. There are some plugins that you will see that I just want to show you so that you will be able to understand properly what we are talking about. You need to understand. Okay, now you can see this one. This plugin says untested with your version of WordPress. So they have not tested this plugin. What is the name of that plugin? This is contact form drag and drop box. Untested with your version of WordPress. They have not tested it with your version of WordPress at all. They have not tested it. So that's why you are seeing. So if you install this, you'll be the one to test it on your own server. So that is it. That is what I'm trying to talk about. So when you search for the plugin, you need to look for those three things. Check the rate, the number of people that have installed it, check the star, check if it is compatible, and the last thing, check the last update of that plugin. Check the last update. All this one, they are updated 4 weeks ago. This one is 2 weeks ago. This one is 45 minutes ago. They just update this one. This one is 2 weeks ago. So you must check the compatibility when they were update. So you can see we have different form. But let me explain some things here before I install one. Before you install any plugin, one, make sure you try to check the details of that plugin also. Details in the sense that you will need to log into their site or visit their website to understand how they describe that the plugin will work. Each plugins, there's a way the developer design it that it will work. You know, they are the one in charge of coding aspect of that plugin. Your own is just to use a drag and drop. Your own is just to use text, image to make your plugins work. So you need to understand them. What are the things they put together for the plugins to work? What are the things you must do if you are to use that plugin? So how do you do that? In all the plugins, in any plugin you want to install, you will see these more details. Then you will click on that more details. Let's go to this contact form 7. Oh, I'm installing it. Jesus. Click on that more details. So it will give you different informations about that plugin. It will show you a lot of things that the plugins entails. It will take you to it will give you a lot of review. Then come to installation. You will see how to install the plugin. Come to screenshot. You will see the screenshot of how the plugins work. Come to description. So these are the details that you need to read. And if you want to read more of their details, more details about the plugins, you will surely see the link to their website, because each plugins have website. They have website. So you will surely see link to their website. Let's check this one. You can see contactform7.com. Let's visit this site. Click on that site so that we can go to the site. Now this is contact form 7. This is contact form 7. This is their site, contact form 7. Let's click on contact form 7. Okay, this is their site. This is their site. From here, you can also get more details about their plugins, how the plugins work. From here, you can chat, you can contact, and at the same time, you can also get more details about how that plugin work, that particular plugin work on YouTube. Many of these companies, they are on YouTube. They drop video because they know that you are not the one that developed the plugin. They are the one that developed the plugin. All you just need to do is to understand how to operate it so that their plugin can also be functioning on your site. So after you have get the view of that plugin, then you click on activate. You click on installed, then activate. After you have installed and activate, the plugin will be added to your menu. Come to menu here. You will see plugin added to your menu. If you check here before, check your own site, you will not see contact. You will not see contact. This is the plugin form that are installed. So any plugin that you install, you will see it there. At this your particular menu, the plugin will be there. So that is how to install menu. But because of this class, I will explain to you how to use this contact form. The form is very easy to use. I will tell you how to use it. But for you to understand different plugins, you need to browse through their website to read what are the things they put together for that plugin. And at the same time, when you want to create a website, don't just install plugin because others are also installing plugins. There are different plugins for different websites. As we have different theme for different websites, we have different plugins for different websites. In fact, the plugins you are going to use, like let me say for example, you want to build a simple blog site, a website that will only center on one niche, in the sense that it will only center on medical issues. That plugin will center on medical issues, medical matters. You will use it to post blogs, information on medical matters. You don't need more than 2-3 plugins for that site. What are the plugins that you need? You need your contact form plugin. You need your, all this one they are default, so I don't count them. But if I'm to count everything, let's say you need classic editor, everything, and you need contact form 7. You don't need this organization. You don't need it. Don't install it because I have installed it. There's another plugin you need. We call it page builder. I have explained that also. You need page builder. And also, I don't remember other plugins, but you don't need more than 4-5 plugin rather, 4-5. So we have talked about 3 now: classic editor, contact form 7, page builder. Those are the 3 major plugins that you need. The remaining 2 plugins, they are just like additional plugins, like you want to add features, like extra features. But building your website to a professional level, you need those 3 plugins. With those 3 plugins and your team, your website will look good. Your website will look good. 3 or 5. So don't just be installing maximum plugins because people are also installing. My friend installed 25 plugins. Because of that, I must have 32 plugins so that my site can be okay. See, your site will not be okay. Your site will be down. In fact, okay will not be in your site at all. Okay will be far from your site. The reason being that when you are installing more plugin to your site will begin to have errors. One of the errors is that 504 error. Error 504, when you are seeing error 504, oh, I have been okay, let me talk about that. When you are seeing error 504, most of the time, what causes error 504? When you are seeing it, when you are loading a website and you are seeing error 504, gateway error. What happens to that site? There are like 3-4 things, but I will explain some of them. 1, when your bandwidth is lower than the number of people that want to visit your site. Your bandwidth space is lower than the number of people that want to visit your site. 2 is that when the theme you installed is higher, is heavy than the space you have. If you have 10 gig storage, don't, I said don't, not that you should, don't install a theme that have like 100 megabytes storage. There are some themes that have 50 megabyte storage. Even if you want to buy Pro, don't buy it. No matter how the theme may be so fantastic, don't buy that theme. Themes that have 100 megabytes storage, or let me say as their space, don't install them at all, because by the time you begin to work on that site, it will consume a lot of space. So whenever you want to buy theme, if you are buying pro theme or you want to download theme, don't download theme that have 50 megabytes upward into the server that have 10 gig storage. Now imagine if you cannot download theme that have 50 megabytes into a server of 10 gig storage, and you now have a server of 3 gig just for practical. You too should guess the highest storage of theme that you can install. That is why Extra or WP Ocean is very recommended. If you go and check that theme, it is not up to 1 gig, 1 megabyte rather. 1 megabyte, it's not up to 1 megabyte. It will make your site to be so light. So all of you that are installing great theme, you are installing theme that make your site to look so fantabulous in the last assignment, is because you are using training server. If it is your server, don't do that unless you have higher storage. With WP Ocean or Astra theme, you can still design your website and it will look good. Nevertheless, if you want to install a theme that have that higher space, be mindful of the plugins you are going to use. Don't use more than like 7 plugins. Don't use more than like 7 plugins. So that is the number 2 thing that can cause it your theme. And number 3 thing that can cause it is your plugins. When you have numerous plugins on your site, it will affect your site, because these plugins you are seeing sometimes, many of them they conflict each other. Some of them they fight together, that your site will be down. That is why you must use a confirm email. Yes, I remember, you must use a confirm email, because there will be some times that your site will be down. They will tell you that you have sent message. What is all these messages? I don't need all this. They have sent message to your email to go and check what happened to your site. So it is when you check that message that you'll be able to understand. But all those ones, when you encounter that, don't come back to me if you don't graduate. It is only when you graduate that we can talk more about that at the advanced class, at the alumni class, where you will be free to ask questions and other things. So that is that. Now, I have installed this contact form 7. I will just explain to you how to use this form so that you can use it to create form. I will explain to you how to make use of this particular form, this contact form 7. But before that, just give me like 1 minute. I'll be back. So after coming to your dashboard, I will just explain how this plugin work. Don't forget what I told you. You need to actually visit each plugin's site. You need to visit their site and see what they put together. But how to insert plugin, that is what I have explained. As simple as that. Once you understand how the plugin you want to install, how it works, then it will be easy for you to how will I call it? It will be easy for you to operate. It will be easy for you to operate. Just make sure that you visit them, look for what they put together, and use it. I'm repeating it. Just do that. So assuming I have visited them now, let's come back to it from here. I have visited them. I have checked. So what are the ways that you reach to add form? Let me use this one to just explain that for you. You can decide to install different plugins. But for those that will be using phone to design their website, there are some plugins that when you install them, the plugins will tell you that you cannot edit it on phone. The reason is that the interface of that plugins, the way they design it, it is not for phone. As time goes on, they are going to design their own for phone. They are going to change the interface. Every day things are moving faster and faster. So if you install any plugin and you discover that it's giving you error that you cannot design on phone, don't install it. Just go and uninstall it. Uninstall, go to plugin, just come to plugin, come to uh installed plugin. You will see all the plugin you have installed, then click on uninstall. It will uninstall the one you want to install. But I would prefer you make use, if you want to create contact form, I would prefer you make use of this contact form that I installed. This contact form that I installed, this contact form 7. So that one is very okay. And at the same time, for those that are using phone, there is need for you to change your screen to desktop site sometimes. If you want to edit some plugins, you need to change it so that you can edit those plugins. There is need for you to do that. So if you don't change it, you'll not be able to edit some plugins correctly. And you should also understand this. I will not jump it. I will not jump it at all. I must tell you. Designing website on phone, you can do it, but the process, it takes higher time than that of system. Those that are using system, it will be easy for them to navigate through some things. But with your phone, you know, where you are supposed to be using mouse, you still have to be using your hand, so to drag and do all those things. So you need to take all those things into consideration. So it takes times than those that are using phone, laptop rather. So let's come back to our contact form. This is my contact form here. You can see I'm having this form now after I have installed. That's my contact form. Click on it. By default, let's go to contact form. Don't add new yet. By default, you may see this message, just dismiss. By default, contact form will create a form for you. With that form, it will guide you a little bit about what you need to understand about the form, because there are some things you need to understand. This contact form, they created it like coding, but it is very simple, just English that you are going to extract from there. So what you need to do is to edit it, and I will tell you what you need to extract from here. Once you edit that contact form, come down. This is your form. This is your form here. This is your form. Label your name, text your name, then close down, label your email, text email, close down, label. So what you need to extract here is this label of a thing. Some other form, they don't have it, but this contact form have it, and it is good for creating contact form, the simplest one to use. You only need to extract this thing. This is what you want to extract. Label your name, text. You don't need to extract that text aspect area. Text your name, label again, text, label closed. You see what, anywhere you see less than slash, it means closed. But we are not going that. If we are going to be explaining all these things, then we will be going to coding. That is why some people cannot understand coding. All what you just have to do is just to copy this, copy it, copy it. And if you want to use the one they created for you, you can edit it. But if you are not using it, copy it, then come back to add new, so that you can create your own from scratch. Add new form and tag it what you want to tag it, contact form, tag it contact form. Then still the same thing, still added it again for you. That is why it is very easy. Just delete it. I don't need all this thing. I want to explain form. I've deleted something. Paste the one you copy. Now what you need to do is, after this label, what do you want them to see? Full name. Now you see in this test area, just come to test here. In this test area where you want to put test, after you have added label, after you have added the label, that is what you need to do. Label is just to show to them what they will see, and where they will enter what they see, what they will type it is where you want to create now. So in this second line, after you, okay, let me do something. Let me come here and do it myself. Apostrophe open label. Let me move this one up. Label, close it. Full MLM. Let me just use it like that. After that, where we dey type the full MLM, that is inside text. So how will I get that text box? This is it from here. These are the features we are going to use to do that. These are the features we are going to use to do that. So how will I do that? Just click on any of these features. After you have entered, click on any of the features you want to use. Test. Now, do you want it to be required that they must fill that form, that test aspect, before they submit? If you see require field, it means that field must be tick, that field must be complete before they can continue. If they don't fill it, they will not be able to submit the form. So tick it if you want it to be filled. What will be in that test? Full name. Use this text as a placeholder of the field. You don't need all those things, just leave it. Insert tag. You can see now, that is what it will be. Now let's save. So that is how you are going to add all the details that you will be adding. That's how you are going to add them to your to this your form. That's how you are going to add. If you want to use contact form, that's how you are going to edit. That is simple as that. If you want to add submit button, just come down, click on submit, label submit, then insert tag. With this little form that I just created, let's see what we are going to have. So how will this form displayed on your site? That is another thing. That's why I explain form for you. If it is other plugins that you are using, they work with, most of the plugins work with page builder that you want to use. They work with page builder. But form, there's a way you will display it on your site, and you must follow that procedure. So how will it be displayed? Any form you use, you'll be given a code, or you'll be given a link like this. So this is the code we are going to use to display our form. Just copy it, go to the page. Let's go to pages or pages. Go to the page that you want to insert it. Let me delete this sample and this thing. I don't need the two. Move to trash. So let me have another page. Add new page. Contact. Now let me publish it. Publish. Now you will come to this place. You will come here. You will not paste the code like that. I told you that when you want to type anything, you must use visual. right? But when it comes to the issue of using code, you have a code that you want to paste, or you have a yes, code. When it comes to issue of using code, you need to use text. Text deals with code. Visual deals with normal, let me call it normal typing. So that is why you must use visual, because most of the things you are going to be doing, you can do them, you will be doing them through visual, doing typings and editing. It is when it comes to form most of the time that you use code. And when we come to the issue of page builder, and the page builder will not be using all these text here again. Our page builder will do the remaining work for us. So what should we do? You come here, you click on test, then you now paste that code inside it. Let me type some things before that. Let me go to, I want to do something here. I'll try to see very well and ask questions if you don't understand. Let me come back to visual. Let me type contact us 24/7, 24/7, oh, 24/7 of the day. Okay, let me just type something. We will, all will be good, all will be food. Contact us here below. After you have typed this thing, I type it on visual because I want to paste code. You will come back to test, navigate back to test aspect here at the top, navigate back to test aspect at the top, just navigate to it. If you see, you will discover that the text I type, there are some little changes there. Don't worry, just paste the code to the last place you want it to be, which is the last gap. Paste it there. Once you paste it, then click on update or publish. So you can now go back to visual. You can go back to visual. After you go back to visual, let's see preview change. Let's see what we are going to have. We just have to preview our change. Wow, you can see that we have contact form. This is the form I just created, but with this I will not be able to submit. Why? Is because I have not set the submitting channel. How will you do the submitting channel after you have added it to your site? How will you do the submitting channel? Don't worry, you can still do anything on that form. You can update the form. Okay, let me try and visit this. Let me visit this link. Let me visit the link and see what we have now. So by the time we are going to update, and we will see what we have. These are our form. Let's go back to our dashboard so that you will still have strong belief that whatever you are going to do is from the back end. Let's come back to form, contact form. This is our contact form. This one, edit it. Don't worry about the error that we are having. Edit it. Now let us add another thing here. After this text label, here we need to close this. No, we have not closed it. Let me just copy this since I have explained how to do that. Copy it. Now let me just copy the whole process. Copy. Let me copy and paste. Now I will just need to change this one to message. what will be here will be different. This is not what we are going to use. This one will now be text area. Text area is different from text. Text area is the differences between text area and text is that text is just ordinary line, while text area you can type many paragraphs inside it. So let me click on text area. So is it required? Yes. What will that name be? Message. After you have done that, then come to where you will see, so sorry, come to where you will see insert tag. I have not deleted this one. Let us add another one. Let us add another one. That one will be email. That one will now be, the email will be which aspect? Email required. Email. Leave all this text value and other things. Insert tag. Now I have done everything. Now let's click on save. Now that I have saved, come to mail. You can edit the mail template here. For examples, for details, see setting up mail, how to set up mail. Go and check it. You will see how to set up the email. So I don't want to do many settings here. Just go and read it with the explanation I have said. We understand how to set up the email properly. So now, to where should the, okay, let me explain some things here before I update. When you come to mail, to whenever anybody send messages, whenever they send messages, this is the email they are going to, that will receive the message. This is the email. Your email, the email you used for your website, which is the company email, we received at the website email. You received the message that someone just dropped a message to your website, and if you want to change it, you just have to change it here. Type any email you want to use there. Once you type it, you can try and send message to work. From where is that message coming from? Your site title, it means the name of your site. The subject of that message, subject you want to receive. That means the subject of the message. What is the subject of the message? Which is contact form. You can decide to change it here to new message, so that it will not be giving contact form, new message. Additional header, I deleted that place. Just delete it. Don't add anything. Now message body, this is the message body. Whatever they typed here will be the message body, and this is how it will go from your name, your email, subject, message body. That is how it will go. Then save. Now let's go back to our front end here. This is our front end, and refresh and see what we are going to have now. You can see that we now have 4 line: full name, full MNN, message and email. If as you try to send message, let me just send message, I will receive this message in my website mail. In my website mail, that's where I will receive this message. At the time I send the message, I will receive it. Sending. Thank you for your message, it has been sent. Now that thank you for your message, can't you customize it? Yes, you can customize it. How will you do that? Come to message. You can see, come to message. Once you come to message, Sender message was sent successfully. Sender's message was sent successfully. This is the message that they will see. Thank you for your message. It has been sent. Sender message failed to send. If the message failed to send, you can give them what they will have. So that is how to customize these plugins, this contact form plugin. After you have done that, then save everything. That is how to do it. But we are still going to talk about how to insert that form using page builder. But for now, that is how to insert it into page. We have inserted into page. Just follow the procedure and you do everything that you need to do.